Okay, guys, we're talking chapter 5, and we are talking reading at the moment. So, this is the tips, tools, and techniques portion of the reading, right? And how we read is important. This particular segment in tips, tools, and techniques for chapter 5 for reading is about speed. Without a doubt, the number one way to improve your speed as a reader is to read more. That is it. The number one way is to read more. Anything, everything. And the more you read, the better you get at, the better, pardon, that you will get at it. So that is the number one way. But there are other techniques. As I said before, with the book, you completely cover the book before you start reading chapter 1. You read about the author, the foreword, the information on the backside of the book, the reviews. All of this stuff helps you understand what you're about to read, which improves retention and comprehension, and by definition, speed. Okay, so now here's some other techniques on speed. So now you have the book, you're at chapter 1. You've done what I told you to do, right? You perused the book. What you're going to do is you're going to read maybe the first couple chapters of this, pardon me, the first couple paragraphs of your reading, just to get a flow of how your author writes, how he transfers information. You're going to consume this information with that in mind. I'm getting to know the author, how he constructs sentences. Are they long? Are they short? Is he a master of commas and his sentences run on? That being the case, he's a deep intellectual, and I have to get my mind ready for reading these long, expansive types of, ideas trapped in these long sentences and paragraphs. So you get an understanding of how this person writes. Their personality will come through. Once you get to know someone's personality, isn't it easier to understand them? So that's what we're doing. We're trying to get to know him. So we read the first couple paragraphs, maybe even the first chapter we read intently, right? But after we get a good feeling of the flow of your author, how he writes, how he structures his or her thoughts, and how they follow each other, now you have a template for how this person writes. Once you get that template down, then you're going to move on to the next phase of speed, which is chapter 2, for example. You're going to read a little bit, maybe the first paragraph or two, but then after that, you're going to start reading, depending on the type of book it is. You're going to start reading the first sentence and then the last sentence of each paragraph. And you do that through the entire chapter, and then you're going to return back to the beginning of that chapter, and you're going to start reading again. You know what happens? It seemed to be so long and seemed to be taking up so much time to get to the end of, becomes shorter after you do this. Why? Because you've basically reviewed the chapter. Most paragraphs will have at the beginning the introductory sentence will tell you what the paragraph is going to be about. The last sentence of that paragraph will normally sum up everything if it's done properly in this style, sum up everything, and then give you a transition to your next paragraph. So reading the first sentence and the last sentence is literally the key from taking you from concept to concept within the chapter without reading the information in depth. What you've basically done, if you do this right, is giving yourself an outline of the chapter. Reference, once again, is built in, a little bit deeper this time. Now, when you go back and you read this information, it's literally effortless. You know what everything is about. You're just diving into the body portion of each paragraph to figure out if there's anything else you need to know to support the theory in the introductory sentence. That simple. Now, I don't want to spoil you, but most readings that you need to do that are technical, non-technical, will allow you to do this. But you can only do this if you first understood how your author constructs his readings, his writings, however you want to look at it, how he constructs his thoughts and transfers them to paper so then you can read them. Once you get that, you've got it, man. You've got control of this book. You understand the author. You understand how he puts his information together. You pretty much have the reference you need to now jam through the rest of this textbook. And that's the technique you use for speed. The better you get at doing that, the faster you read through. Now, there are other people and other techniques for speed reading. I have not incorporated them. I can't do this, for example. I don't know how that's done. I'm sure it can be learned. That might be something else that I use for my YouTube channel in the future. How do people do that? You know what I mean? And break it down so it's really simple. And literally get information from this. So some of these people, I might guess, are gifted. Some inherent God gift that they have. But something else tells me that they've been doing it so long and people have been learning this that it can be learned by others. So I literally stop at what I shared with you. Get to know the author. Read the first sentence to the last sentence of each paragraph. Get an understanding. Then go back. All the while taking notes. Once you're done, you'll have a note set up for this book that you can refer to easily and point you right back to where you need to go. So that's a word on speed, man. I hope it helps. It helped me a great deal because it was the main reason, one of the main reasons outside of, just learning college, that I flunked out almost my first year. It was just way too much reading. And when I got behind, it was over. Okay, guys, so let me help you. Get this book, get it ahead of time, start reading, get to know the author, read a little bit of the introduction, read a little bit of the foreword, read the first and last sentence of each paragraph within these chapters, and it will move you forward faster and give you context and reference ability to help you remember the information. So that's it on reading and speed. I hope it helps you. I'll catch you later.